So I think for premium publishers and broadcasters, I still think they're relatively in their infancy in terms of the adoption of programmatic. What we've seen to date in video is we've seen a huge shift in RTB, so in buyers buying programmatically in an auction. However, for premium publishers and for broadcasters, that's not necessarily a solution that they're embracing. What's much more interesting for them is to retain a direct relationship with the buyers, to negotiate a deal, but then to allow the buyer to process that deal through a programmatic platform. So this is an area which we're calling programmatic direct, and this is really driving the adoption of programmatic for premium publishers and for broadcasters. So I think on the sales side, as I mentioned, obviously there's been a lot of traction in RTB for video. But what we're now starting to see is that brands want to buy or have access to specific pools of inventory. Now, typically those pools of inventory aren't available on open marketplaces. So I think what the brands direct are doing, either directly or through their trading desks, is they're looking to have direct access into a publisher's inventory. And again, this is why the programmatic direct kind of solution that works for publishers also works for buyers, because it means they can negotiate a direct deal with supply sources that are important to them, and they can then facilitate those direct deals. So what we're seeing globally is, I mean, the US dominates. So the US is the most advanced market for the trading of programmatic video, and that remains. It's almost coming towards a point of maturity, I would say, in the US, and other markets internationally are at varying levels of adoption, but increasing. So to give you an example, we see the UK market and the French markets as being very progressive. So we're seeing really good traction in programmatic video in those markets. APAC has always been amazing, actually. We see huge traction in programmatic trading of video in the APAC region. And obviously the region I'm responsible for is Europe, and I think markets like Germany now are becoming very interesting, because markets that maybe held back for a little bit are now starting to come online. So, as a business and as an industry, we've seen incredible growth over the last 3-4 years.
And what's powering growth?
So growth has really been driven actually by the buy side. Buyers want to buy programmatically. This isn't a fad, it's not going away. Trading desks are established, the principles and ways of buying are established, and we've really benefited. We've seen that interest translate into revenue, and that revenue is what's powering the industry. I think the difference we're seeing now, though, is we're now seeing this becoming much more applicable to premium publishers and to broadcasters, as they're now starting to test and to look at how they can retain the relationships with the buyers, but enable them to access their inventory programmatically.